Hi guys, thanks for joining me today. I'm Marilyn and my channel is Making with Marilyn. Now I do all things crafty, but on today's video, I'm going to make a breast cancer awareness t-shirt in honor of my sister. She's a multi-year survivor and I want to celebrate that. Now, even though I'm doing breast cancer awareness during the month of October and really all year long, but during the month of October, you know, that is a month where cancer awareness is at its height. Now, of course, October is not just limited to breast cancer awareness, so join in, let's show our colors and show our support. Now, the first thing that I want to do is I want to show you the file that I'm going to use. I'm in Creative Fabrica. I've already downloaded it, so I go to My Profile, click on that, and then go to My Downloads. And here's the file that I'm going to use. I thought that was beautiful. Now, one thing about this file, though, is it's not a traditional cut file. So you're going to print this on something and then add that to your shirt or your tote bag or whatever you're making. Now, if you have some of the printable HTV, you could make this on that. You could also use it with sublimation, but today I'm going to use DTF. Now, let's say you mainly use heat transfer vinyl that you cut out. Here's another one that I thought was really cute, and you could easily use HTV for this. Let's look at cancer awareness. And I want you to see they have just so many files that you can use. Now notice when I just put in, oh, that is cute. Notice when I just put in cancer awareness, most of the things that come up are breast cancer awareness, but they have other cancer awareness as well. For example, if I put in cancer colon awareness, there's so many files for that as well. So if you're looking for something other than breast cancer awareness, check out Creative Fabrica and see what you have. Let's look at the one I'm going to use one more time, and then I'm going to go ahead and print it out on the DTF printer. I just think that's super cute. Now here's the image just printed out. This is the front side of the film, and so it actually printed on this other side. So it lays down a layer of the colors, and then it follows up just right behind that with 2 layers of white. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to go ahead and put my DTF powder on that. And DTF powder is just a powder that when you melt it on there, it becomes an adhesive to attach the ink to your shirt. Now I'm using Yamation. They have coarse, medium, and fine. They also call the fine thin, and I prefer the fine. So I just have a medicine cup in there and I pour a bunch of it on. Now remember, this part down here, I don't want to keep it, but it's going to be easier to cut it off without messing up my image if I cure it first. If I were to try to cut it off now and I'd bump that ink, then I would ruin this entire design. So I'm going to go back and forth, making sure that I have powder on the parts of the design that I want to keep. And so the top row of the peace sign, the heart, and the flower, and then the words peace, love, and cure under it. I don't really care if that part that I cut off gets too much powder or not. Now all this powder is going to go back into the container, so you don't have to worry about wasting it. So I'm just going to hold my image up, let a lot of that fall off, and then tap it to get the excess off. Now you don't need to throw that paper away. You can just fold it back up and use it over and over. Now we're going to move over to the DTF oven. This is an oven that I got with the printer. You don't have to actually buy this. You don't have to use this. You can use a griddle, you can use a toaster oven, a convection oven. You can use the heat from the platen of a heat press. You can even flip your easy press over, as Crystal Ann has shown us before. I've used that method on the DTF sublimation hack. It worked beautifully. Now I have my DTF oven set on 120 degrees Celsius, and I'm going to cook this for 150 seconds. Now here's the print again. Super pretty, very, very vibrant. And then here's the back. And you can see that's really shiny now. And it's become a little more translucent. But it's dry, and so now I can go ahead and cut this part off. All right, so let me show you the shirt that I'm going to use. It's just a gray shirt. And it's actually 60% cotton, 40% polyester, but this can be on 100% cotton. Not a problem at all. Now I don't want to press it down yet because I haven't preheated this to remove moisture, but here's what it'll look like. I think this is going to look great on this gray shirt. Now before I move over to the heat press, let me go ahead and fold this together, have the two ends together, and then make a crease. And by making that crease, I know that is pretty much the center of my design, and I'll put it right under this V. Now since this is a V-neck shirt, I'm not going to have it real low because the V is already low enough. So I'm just going to have it right under the thick part of the collar, something about like that. My heat press is preheating to 325, and that's the temperature that I'm going to use for this. So I'll preheat this for about 15 seconds, let it cool down a little bit, add my design on, press this for 10 seconds at 325, and I'm going to use a nice firm pressure. After this film cools off, I'll peel it off and my design will be here. Then after that, I'm going to put a piece of parchment paper over it, press it again for 10 more seconds. That second press with the parchment paper, to me, really isn't optional. To me, it just makes it sink into the fibers, and I think it looks and feels so much better. Now here's the shirt, and it is all finished. Look how beautiful that is. I love that. Let me show you close and personal. Isn't that gorgeous? And look how it just kind of melts down into the fabric. Thanks so much for joining me today. I hope you enjoyed the project as much as I did. And until my next video, bye-bye. Now, I want to show you something really quickly because after I did this, I noticed that this bottom part of my L was kind of red. So I look back at the design, and that is actually in the design. So if you use this design, just realize there's a little bit of discoloration right down here in the design. But to me, it's barely noticeable, and I still love this.